Hello everybody and welcome back to G4G Games for Gamers. I'm your host, Napalm Dawn, and today we're here taking a look at a really nice team up that I've come up with. I call it the Hybrid Sting, and this makes use of the bruiser version of Hybrid, AntiVenom, and 3 agent items. And the 4th item I've kind of been rotating about. I'm still trying to decide what I really want to use in that slot. Today's background soundtrack is brought to you by the Borderlands 3 OST. So first thing I'm going to do is show you my AntiVenom loadout. And he has been this way for some time. He's been 14 for a while. Hybrid was more recent. So I have some bulkies and some forcefuls over here. I have a violent and a steady. And you can see what those stats amount to. His health is capped, attack, defense, and accuracy. Over here I have street fighting. And I have skull thumper. On his actions I have a powerful bladed over here for bloodletting. I have a wide open for I am the cure, which basically, since this is going to be my opening move, it sets up for melee attacks for the whole rest of the battle. Crusade has monomolecular blades, which means it ignores defense, and cleansing touch just has knocking. Honestly, this really doesn't get used too much. I could apply knocking over here, but I like the wide open to go with more, you know, because damage is damage, knocking is random. For Hybrid, I'll show you his loadout. I actually have not ISO'd him yet, mostly because my Excel spreadsheet where I have the solver is at work. I don't have it set up at home, and the wiki blog does not have a ISO loadout for him. I have the genetic memory empowered ISO on him, and I'll show you what I have for his abilities. They are pretty much all his custom ones. For Riot, I have gains exploit bleeds. Works with everything else that I'm doing in this combat. I have Agony over here. Agony gains consume, so he gains health if he uses it. Phage applies depowered, and Lasher removes all beneficial status effects. Now for my agent, I'm running the weather control device simply because of how helpful it is. The purge, because of the fact that it does some debuffs that help. And actually, I think I might want to change that out. It's only somewhat helpful. It causes pressure point, not opportunistic, so I may want to change this out a little bit, but it helps my agent wind up and do things if I need to. And I have the Cube and the Manvatara. Now, honestly, that first slot over there can kind of go many different ways. I've had the Mystic in there, I've had the Cosmic Flame in there, I've had the Rocket Pistol in there. I still haven't found out quite exactly what I want to do with it yet, but now that I realize the purge stupidly is doing pressure points and not opportunistic ones, I may want to switch it up a little bit. As the game loads over here, I will tell you right off the bat, this team is killer against Pesty Red Hulk teams, but it does fall down a little bit with protect teams. If there is a protecting agent, it's a little bit of an issue. If there is a Groot and Gamora team, it's a little bit of an issue too. So here we're looking at Groot and Molly Hayes. So this could potentially be bad. Fortunately, I'm not seeing a Mystic up. But the agent, so all 3 of these guys are protectors. However, they are weaker on hit points than me, so I wonder if potentially this is an offensively skewed team. So we've led with the weather control device for the exhausted, and then the purge. You know, I actually could hold I think I'm going to hold the Blackest Void, and the reason being is I will Blackest Void off her Raspberry next turn. Instead, I'm just going to apply opportunistic debuffs to only one person. See, you know, that's actually kind of bullshit. And the reason why is that's not supposed to get protected against. Now, that being protected against is pretty obvious. It's interesting to see which ones they have stepping up and taking the hits. Hopefully, Groot has been depowered. And it seems like he has. Now, at this point in turn, you know what I'm going to actually do, since I am exhausted over here, I'm just going to go ahead and use that Blackest Void so that Molly can't get set up for her infinite little tantrum over here. Okay, guess she can. That's very interesting. Perhaps I should have gone with the exhausted. But she doesn't really seem to be doing a whole heck of a lot of damage here. And she's finally punched her agent. But now we know all of her attacks are going to come my way. She's missed hybrid. AntiVenom's taking a bit of a hit here. Hopefully we don't lose him. Pretty big hit on the agent. And she's finally recharging. So let's see who steps up and takes this depower. Hopefully the agent will come in and defend. So I'm going to aim for Groot. Well, okay. So Groot stays defended. He stays depowered. Huge hit, but the hemorrhage goes out. And since there's not a lot to exploit on Molly right now, what I'm going to do is lead with the agony. Because that'll create some bleeds and it'll create some healing over there. Lead with the opportunistic now and hopefully a depower. And now we can finally begin to get some recovery going over here. So first, I'm going to do the improbability field because this may buff the rest of my actions. See, now I want to point out something here once I get done unloading on Molly. Which I'm going to do out of incredible spite. If this was Hearthstone, this would be called BM, Bad Manners. Okay, look at this. Temporal ignores most avoidance effect, does not trigger protect abilities. Why was I being protected against? Okay, so as you can see, that was a relatively easy win, and that's not an easy team to beat if things go bad, and I survived a Molly. Unfortunately, we did not get to see the big hits this team is capable of. I have seen AntiVenom hit with a crit upwards of 60k, which will obviously take out anything on this planet 4 times over. So let's see what we pull over here. Honestly, Pesty Red Hulk teams are incredibly up this team's alley. The Protect teams are a little bit tougher. Which is actually kind of funny because my normal team suffers a little bit against the Pesty Red Hulk teams if turn order is not in my favor, but it chews up the Protector teams way better. Really slow loading here today. Oh, so we have Sif and... Wow, this is a very, very interesting team up over here. We have a Scrapper Agent, which is good for me. And we have 2 Bruisers. It looks like Sif is going next. And she has her Berserker ISO. And unfortunately, Molly dodged all of that, which could be really bad if she manages to get out her raspberry, but I certainly hope this exhausted sticks on her. And there's a dropkick join in thanks to Sif's berserking. There's an agent brawl, so these guys are getting incredibly lucky. But here is where we're going to start winding up a little bit. So we definitely want to lead with the exhausted. It could be tempting against other teams to get the heal out because Hybrid is hurt. But let's take a look. So Molly has Taunt the Meanies. Notice there is no border around her Taunt the Meanies. Well, yeah, actually that ability switches over simply by using the previous one. I forgot that removing the buff does not stop her tantrum. And let's see here. Oh, the depower was not in effect. Well, yeah, that's right. Here comes the depower. And fortunately, this is a nice AoE, so I don't have to worry about the disoriented. And let's see what happens with Molly. Goes into her tantrum, but she is lovely exhausted. For him, thanks to the disoriented, everything I could possibly do here is simply bad news. But as you can see, I'm capable of taking anybody out from here. So, I'm going to go ahead and risk it, because I know if I hit my own team, it's not going to be too bad. I'm going to try for Sif, and we hit my agent pretty badly. Fortunately, she misses that leaping slash, and she's bleeding out for it. So now here is where we definitely ensure our control of battle. Alright, so we're going to keep them exhausted. And now they have Scorched. And we're going to get out some more opportunistic debuffs, setting up AntiVenom for a huge hit coming up. And we'll apply another one for good measure. So the agent bleeds out, and here is where the fun's going to begin. Look at this. I can take out Molly all the way from 12k. 25k, 25.5k. That is huge, and we'll see what we do to Sif. A 10, 11, and I think there was a 6 in there, so that's the hits this team is really, really capable of setting up for. I would honestly like the Neuro Purge to be the opportunistic debuffs. It could be very interesting to set up the X-Obliv over here. However, I think I will keep the Neuro Purge simply because it will allow my agent to go on the offensive and not worry about an infiltrator getting on me. So we'll do one more battle and see if we can't see some more of the big hits this team is capable of. Tell you, this team, for as strong as they are, it does definitely make me appreciate my Uncanny Archangel and Psylocke team quite extensively, and it usually comes up in the Protector type battles that I really miss having two stealthy characters. And that Nanoplague. Nanoplague is nothing to shake a stick at. Okay, so we have a Beast and Red Hulk team, and turn order favors us extensively. Had Hybrid gone first, depending on where AntiVenom is, I might have depowered Red Hulk so that his bomb doesn't do anything and allow Beast to do his stuff. But fortunately, we lead with AntiVenom, and hopefully he depowers everybody. And look at that, there's an Infiltrator agent. That's perfect. Makes my Neurotrope happy. So Searing Smash goes out, he misses, so we don't know if he's depowered. He is. Beast is not. and the agent is. So first thing we're going to do is lead with that neuro purge. So now I can get out the exhausted, and I don't have Agent Captain India in my face over here. Alright, suck on an exhausted. And at this particular point in time, I have... Oh, yeah, that's right. That suit is immune to that. Oh, well, okay. So, at this point, I can either go Manvatara and potentially set up Hybrid to take somebody out right away. Seeing as how Beast is not depowered, at least as far as I can tell, I'm just going to go ahead and go with the Blackest Void instead. And hopefully he does stupid stuff. Well, he did the mask. So at this point, what do I do? Do I use Lasher and cause more opportunistic? Or do I take somebody out? So let's see, Beast. So nobody's killable right away, and AntiVenom's coming up. So I'm going to go ahead and do more opportunistic and get that ISO contagion over to the other side. A missed brawl, and he's bleeding out for it. Ooh, twisted gift, but unfortunately, sorry buddy, you're depowered. And it's time to go killing. So, Beast will probably die. Red Hulk may live. Let's go for Red Hulk so we don't take a Gamma Bomb. 21k. Overkill. Alright, so we'll keep him exhausted, even if the enemy agent does get in my face for it. And it's a weak counterattack, which causes him to bleed out, and we'll do a Manvatara. And let's see what Beast does. And because of the AoE flanked, he takes a revenge hit for it. So let's watch Riot go ahead and kill. We'll go for the agent. Big hits, completely dead, and we'll just crusade Beast out of the way. 13.5, a little weak, but it got the job done. So there you go. There is the hybrid sting of AntiVenom and Bruiser hybrid. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you guys might get inspired by this team up. I'll go ahead and discuss some of the other ideas that you could do here. That Neuro Purge, honestly, probably could be taken out simply because agent infiltrators will be immune to the off-balance, but at least Infiltrator Gamoras, the Infiltrator Beasts, won't get in your face. So you could swap out the Neuro Purge. And for the Manvatara, if it's going to be bugged that it's going to be protected against, you could go with the Cosmic Flame, which would allow your weather control device to apply Soulfire to everybody. You could put in the GG Prototype, which simply causes more debuffs out there. However, this is best with a Cosmic Energy generating item. You could always go with something defensive, like getting a shield up. You can go for the E-Tech shield. You can go for the Rune of Resolve for a little bit of defense. You could go for a scroll. If you're running the scroll, that means you could use the scroll at the beginning of combat if you see a Mystic. And if a Gamma Bomb's been thrown out and Red Hulk isn't there. You can protect other people if you go with the T-Bolt Glove. And of course, one of the best things that you could do for this team up is going to be way back here in the Horseman set. And that will be the Exobliv. Also, you could even run the Solar Storm, which means the enemy team can't crit. That will certainly help. You could run the Bruiser Augmenter. You can run the Warbringer Axe for some more damage. You can run the Rafshank or the Mystic. They would work for this team. You can run Signpost to try to keep your agent healthy. You can run the Rocket Pistol to get out bleeding or even the thorny, but this is very risky because you don't have a way of reducing debuffs with that. You can run any of the scrolls to help out. You can run a neurotrope to get extra attacks in and get stronger attacks. And finally, you can do the X-Obliv, which will cause opportunistic. And this, you know, this is stealthy, so this isn't going to get protected against. A group can't step up for that. You could do Famine's Toll just to weaken everybody, and you could also do the Adhesive X launcher to make sure that those melee heavy teams and the protector type teams don't get in the way. So, hope you enjoyed this team up here on G4G, Games for Gamers, and stay tuned. Go ahead and subscribe. Go ahead and subscribe over to me on Twitch, and you'll see my streaming. Take care. Have a good weekend.